If you're in a relationship right now, I hope this doesn't ruin it for you, but you may never look at your partner the same because they're just not going to match up to this Adonis I'm about to show you. The self-described 0.5% boyfriend on the planet. He's pretty much everything you could ever want in a partner, and we get to see that firsthand as he brags to his ex about all of the matches he's getting on Hinge. So the background is, these two were dating. He is apparently a doctor, she's a nurse, they broke up. I can't imagine why with the way he talks in these text messages. He seems like a very secure, stable individual. So, I don't know what the conversation was that was preceding this, but he says, if you are even thinking it, I'm down for an open relationship. You and I can do whatever we want. I'll probably sleep with someone before January anyway. The benevolent saint read her mind, knew that she was thinking like, I kinda wanna still fuck this guy. So he let her know right up front that he's definitely still down for that, but he's going to have to pencil her in around this upcoming coitus session that's going to happen before January, no doubt. Like I said, I don't know what the conversation was that preceded it, but it was probably some shit like, hey, can you come collect your stuff? And he's like, listen. I know what you're thinking. And the answer is yes. I will still fuck you in this open relationship that you desperately want us to be in. I'm okay with that. I'll make that sacrifice. She rejects that generous offer, saying she's looking for a boyfriend. He says, okay, offer stands. Immaculate business acumen, letting her know that the offer is still on the table when she comes to her senses. Always down to clap cheeks and get head. Speaking like Duke Nukem out here. I came to be a weirdo loser to my ex and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of gum. And then he just for some reason throws this in there. This is out of control. 14 convos, day 1 of Hinge. Oh, you can just taste the tears. He is trying so hard to make it seem like he's moving on and is actually very happy that the relationship has ended. Look at how many conversations he's having on Hinge. He needs to brag about it to his ex. I also imagine a chunk of those conversations are with bots. This is like the guy who brags about all the sexy singles from his area that he's talking to after clicking on a porn banner. But either way, he's just trying to go out of his way to be an asshole to his ex to make her feel bad. Just unprompted sending Hinge conversations he's been having with other women. When he doesn't get any response, he starts spiraling and melting down, monologuing like a cartoon villain. I mean, obviously most of these girls would be an upgrade, so why would I get back with a broke girl who isn't even close to finishing school? You pushed me into something better. You literally asked me to get a gun. I don't have any ammunition and it's locked in a case when it gets here. Just another example of stupid communication. Such a stupid and confusing girl. I'm getting updated headshots once I'm all tanned up from Vegas from 2 professional photographers. And I update my wardrobe so everyone will get to see the new hairline. Oh. Jeepers creepers. Man's got the Rogaine foam out and he's getting very excited to showcase it in his new Crocs and Hawaiian t-shirt. Probably use your birthday money for it. That was supposed to be a little dagger to jab her with. I'm using your birthday money for this, by the way. Brother, the relationship's over. I doubt she really cares what you use it for. Go ballistic, man. If you want to keep spamming minoxidil on your Tommy Pickles head, go crazy. Also, like clockwork with every single meltdown, it's always, well, I was actually like settling for you. You're like super beneath me. You're broke, and everyone I'm meeting on Hinge is clearly an upgrade. You actually, this was like the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I cannot stop smiling about it because now look at all of these upgrades that I'm getting on Hinge from you. Like I was doing you a favor by being with you. He then also had the courtesy to show her what the photos are going to look like when they're done. Photos going to look something like this. I want to take some photos together as well at a festival and some action shots doing hobbies. It's going to be fun and likely boost my profile even more. I'm already overwhelmed though. Right now I've got a serious case of stick-it-to-the-man-neosis from just getting too much pussy, but I'd like to elevate my profile a bit more so I can reach challenger rank on Hinge. He then just sends some random photos of dudes he saw on Google Images, typing in things like man on bike and stuff like that, and he just sends those randomly. There's no doubt in my mind he didn't actually plan any photography sessions. He just wanted some shit here to like brag about, kind of. Like, look at how much better I'm doing. Check out these, like, new photos I'm going to be doing. Like, I'm going to be riding a bike. These action shots of me doing my hobbies, of undressing anime figurines, they're going to go crazy on Hinge, and people are going to love them. Honestly, my ultimate goal is to find someone with an impressive career who comes from a good family. That's something I really missed with you and stressed me out. I want my children to aspire to be great, and your family reeks with complacency. Who asked? This man's just fucking vomiting all the spaghetti in his brain here. He's just fucking dumping nonsense. Who is asking you what your goals are? Nobody cares. Hypergamy is real. Women with great careers don't want partners who are less educated or make less money. I'm in the top 0.5%, so it puts me in an elite group when I finish. I really want to see what I can find once I beef things up on the profile. 70% of people nowadays meet each other online. He's got the stats, and the stats say that he should be happy, so he is happy. He's super happy because he's the 0.5% in an elite group of boyfriend material. So you know he's happy. You can tell he is just beaming with enthusiasm, with joy. It's the holly jolly season, and he is feeling the spirit. He just keeps going on and on. I'll just date for fun until someone comes along worth marrying, kind of like what I did with you. Literally pages of glizzy gobblers. I'm the MIDI king. Oh man, he's slaying. Yeah, he's putting in the work right now. You can just see it. Calling them glizzy gobblers and MIDI. He keeps referring to all of his matches as MIDI. He's actively just putting down all of the women that find him attractive. Like, he doesn't even find them good looking. I think he just swiped right on every single person with a pulse on Hinge over a 24-hour period and managed to get 14 matches. And now he's just calling himself the MIDI king. At least these middies won't give me such a headache like you did, won't lie to me about everything and manipulate me into getting a gun and then tell me they think I'm going to shoot them. You are the insane one, walking red flag. Yeah, he comes across as a pretty sane guy, so if he's calling someone insane, you know that holds water. There's no red flags I've picked up on here yet from this guy. I would never marry a woman like you. Fakest person I know. The whole sweet girl thing is such a facade. Your family knows the angry, manipulative, stubborn bitch you are on the inside. Like I said, I don't want you back. I want to date these girls and have fun until I meet someone worth marrying. But always down to fuck you and get head. I'm just not going to be exclusive anymore. I don't marry middies. Now you can hang out as much as you want with your simp guy friends who get no pussy. It's a symbiotic relationship. A depressed and insecure girl who needs validation, and 4 out of 10 or lower guys with no ambition or drive, or any redeeming qualities that would make them dateable, getting some attention from a MIDI. And she just says, stop texting me. This dude talks like those loveless virgins on Twitter that are always whining and crying on there about women. It's so... I don't even know where I would start with unpacking this one. It's just pathetic. Like, this is a doctor, apparently? What in tarnation? Dr. Dork, maybe? But jeepers. Wow. Anyway, this is what a 0.5% mate looks like. This is, like, the elite group of boyfriends, and unfortunately, she didn't realize how lucky she got. She hit the lottery jackpot, and now, well, he's seen the light. So now he gets to go on Hinge and be the king of middies, as he says. He loves the middies, but he'd never marry one. He's clearly over his previous relationship, which is why he's sending paragraphs to his ex bragging about this and just spitting out his goals and all kinds of insults towards her and her family and everything. He's absolutely happier now. It's very evident. But I would like to move on to another short adventure that I went on through some text messages today. This is a very brief one. A Redditor had a friend that made a purchase that ended up being a bit of a scam, and it's a purchase that I can actually relate to in a pretty big way. It's a sex doll. So he was saying that the pictures that he purchased from looked nothing like the product he received, saying he's disappointed. His friend is just laughing at his trauma though, which I think is just very rude. This guy is clearly going through it. He just got scammed. He was looking for love. He didn't get what he ordered. There's so many things that most people should be able to pump their fist behind and say, yes, this man was wronged. I am on his side. He bought a sex doll and didn't receive the one that he had ordered. So he said, I should have let the process facility cancel the order and never reordered it back. His friend continues to laugh at him. I'm throwing it away tomorrow or something. He's still getting laughed at. He then says, bro, even the fucking Ona hole is too small. I don't know what the Ona hole is. That might be like a trademarked part of the sex doll. I don't know his particular model, but that might be like patent pending technology. He's trying to set his friend straight here, letting him know, like, hey, this isn't really the hilarious situation you think it is. It's a big scam. I ordered sitting position, it came in standing position, stupid seller, scammer. He then sends a picture of the sex doll that he received. This, it's not the highest quality item, I'll be the first to admit here. This looks like you're having sex with a Sega Dreamcast character. It's basically just a big noodle with a Google image face on it. The company that produced this should be ashamed of themselves. They didn't even have the decency of putting titties on it. This looks like one of Floop's Fluglies from Spy Kids. So unfortunately there's a huge scammer on the loose, so buyer beware if you're in the market for any sex dolls. But the reason I said I can relate to this is because I actually had a sex doll that looked remarkably similar to that. Many of you may remember a few years ago when I was in my competition with Belle Delphine, where I had like the craziest collection of sex toys and dildos, fleshlights, all of that. The whole 9 yards there, the kit and caboodle of all the sex toys. One of the items I had that I mentioned and showed in a couple videos was a sex doll that looked very close to that. Not the exact same model. It was this one. Now, at the very least, that model at least had titties on it and a usable mouth hole if your cock was 2 inches long. The Gentle Sir on Reddit, it didn't even have that. It was actually just like a piece of printer paper with a woman's face glued on to an inflatable thing, an inflatable tube thing, really. Like, I didn't even see any holes I censored it myself. I didn't even see any holes on his model. The one I had at least did have all of that, but you would be a damn fool to try and fuck it. Because that sex doll I had, it was like made out of broken glass. It was like the sharpest material ever. If you did put your cock in it, it wasn't coming out in one piece. It'd be sliced and diced. It'd be like sticking your cock in a wood chipper. It was completely unusable for that purpose, which is why I had it as kind of like a background object where I put like a shirt on her. Now, God rest her soul, she's no longer with us, unfortunately. She melted at the warehouse, as did most of my collection of sex toys, because the Florida heat was not kind to them in an unventilated building. They didn't appreciate that very much, so pretty much everything melted. But yeah, I can relate to his purchase here because what he received, since he was actually buying it to have sex with it, he would not have been successful with it. I can tell you for sure because I had something similar and there is no human being on the planet, no matter how masochistic, that would actually fuck it and be pleased. They would be in excruciating pain and miserable. The agony would be overriding any sense of pleasure they could have possibly felt. So yeah, I just wanted to briefly talk about that on the back of talking about the awesome boyfriend. Anyway, that's about it. So yeah. It's been a while since I've gone over diabolical texts, and today I've got a doozy for you. It's a maniac melting down over mayonnaise, blowing a gasket, going ballistic at his girlfriend because he believes that she has tampered with his mayonnaise, and even goes as far as to lightly accuse her of trying to poison him through this new state of matter that he found the mayonnaise in. He's a 46-year-old Gentle Sir, tip the fedora, who's a big mayonnaise enthusiast that really thinks he stumbled across a grand conspiracy here that his girlfriend is at the helm of. We begin our journey into madness. He says, "Funny how all the Hellmans is liquid state. Ideas?" This is clearly confusing to her because it reads like a fucking riddle. She says, "What? What does that mean?" "Lived on my own since 96. Never seen that. 2 separate bottles." I love the way he says that, lived on my own since 96. That's like some shit you'd hear from like some washed up loser who's like, "Yeah, as you know, I was the quarterback that led my high school football squad to the state championship in 98. Go Warthogs. I could have been pro if it wasn't for that damn case of athlete's foot." She then asks, "Are you talking about mayo?" Which he responds saying, "Bravo. What a fucking douchebag. This guy is turbo dweeb." And then she says, "So we went all day not fighting and you're ending the night fighting over mayo. Okay." That's a pretty sad message because it sounds like they fight all the time. He then gets his monocle out and begins his interrogation, connecting the pieces of this puzzle like it's fucking LA Noire. "Super weird you disappeared when you dude. And both of them melted in the fridge. I have samples." This man's got the beakers out and he's mixing chemicals, testing the viscosity and the compounds within the mayo. She then reminds him that she doesn't eat mayonnaise and then asks what melted. And he just says, "Inver seen anything like it, going to bed." What in the world are you talking about? Great question. Try to answer tomorrow. Weirdo is speaking in riddles. The timeline is all cattywampus, so he's saying that it's odd she disappeared at some point. I don't know what he even meant by that. He said that she disappeared when dude. I don't know what that means, so I'm guessing he thinks that when she wasn't like in the room with him, she must have been contaminating the mayonnaise and liquefying it for some reason. What an unhinged theory from a dangerously stupid goober. I wonder if he also goes to the fridge and freaks out when he sees that his expired milk is a little chunky. Does he accuse his girlfriend of foul play then too? Like, "You harlot! You chunkified my milk! These are cyanide crystals in here! You want me dead!" Like, how can he be 46 years old and not understand that mayonnaise is an emulsification of oils and egg, and sometimes that shit can just separate? Mental break, I guess you're having. Nothing you're saying makes sense. First mayo, now something about melting? How's this? I use Hellmann's mayo regularly, as you know. I know the viscosity. Oh, what is this guy? The fucking mayor of mayonnaise? This guy a mayonnaise sorcerer? A wizard? He understands it inside and out? He's like a spokesperson for Hellmann's. He's like advertising the shit out of this product. Both containers are literally liquid. Nothing else has melted in the fridge. And she says, "And I did this?" He says, "I didn't." And she replies with a gif just calling him crazy. Which he is. He is crazy. She didn't do it. You didn't do it. It's something that happens to mayonnaise. You've been living on your own since 96, boofing mayonnaise for fucking 46 years, and you don't understand that mayonnaise can separate. I feel like even if someone explained this to him, he would just disregard it because he chooses not to believe it. He would rather believe that his girlfriend is trying to kill him through liquefying his mayonnaise. It's scary that people can end up at a point like this guy. Does he also go outside and shake his fist whenever the wind blows because he doesn't understand who's making the wind blow? I'd been planking leftovers for late dinner all night before tomorrow starts a new week. Then mayo came out like soy sauce. That's a first. Then the other container did it. Never seen that in my life, even when mayo is left out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's got the magnifying glass out and he's looking at the footprints and he's starting to piece together what's happening. And then she says, "And you're blaming me. I don't even eat mayo. Case in point. And I'm crazy." I don't even know what case in point he's talking about. Like, exactly. You don't eat mayo. Checkmate. She then wants just like full clarification on what he actually thinks is going on. So she says, "What is it exactly you think I did?" And he disregards that, just saying, "I'm going to sleep." Hey, Buster, don't forget to check under your bed for the boogeyman that's sabotaging your mayonnaise. Melted mayo. Sabotage your mayo. Wow. Good night. He says, "Do yourself a favor. Open trash can and look. Tell me it's normal. Just look at both containers." I don't even need to open your trash can. It's normal. She didn't liquefy your mayonnaise, man. It wasn't, pumped full of, plutonium or something to take you out. That happens to mayonnaise. And then here's where it gets real spicy. He says, "Thus far, you haven't been able to poison me." Moron's been watching too much Game of Thrones. He thinks that everyone's out to get him. You're mental. We watch the same shows, which tells me he actually just can't separate reality from fiction. But I would love to know what show has a character poison another through watery mayonnaise. She says, "Save those bottles and go get them examined, lol, and your brain while you're at it." And he says, "Well, they are in the trash. Feel free to investigate." 100% he should double fist those Hellmann's and take them to a forensic lab to get them checked. He should absolutely do that, and I guarantee, even when it comes back totally normal, no contaminants, he would still disregard it and say that they're lying, it's all a big conspiracy, they're working with his girlfriend to take him out. He then says, "Tell me if the consistency makes sense." Holy shit, this guy. So she says, "So I tried poisoning you. What the hell is wrong with you, dude? I haven't touched your mayo or anyone's mayo, not even touched store mayo. How is it different from last night? What happened last night? I made a sandwich with mayo. Oh no, the smoking gun! Just last night, the mayo was the perfect viscosity, and then today, it's ruined. There's only one explanation. It must have been poisoned by my girlfriend." I realize how odd this is, but I've never seen anything like this. He's making it sound like some kind of crazy scientific discovery, like he just discovered fucking an alien spacecraft that crash landed in his backyard. I've never seen anything of this sort on this planet. It doesn't compute. Mayo doesn't just do this, and you randomly started being calm and cordial this morning, unprompted after weeks and weeks of deliberately being impossible. I threw it all out. This guy sounds like such an asshole. An actual unhinged, delusional, dumb, turbo-idiot asshole. Like, Mayo does do that. Like, it is well known for doing that. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. It's well documented. And he's talking about it like this is some one-of-a-kind phenomenon, and the only logical explanation is that it must have been poisoned. And she just says, "You are nuts," which he is. He then says, "It spreads a certain way, unless somehow that has changed. But it would have been within the last 24 hours. It was like it had melted." She just says, "Dude. Yeah, dude. You know I use mayo on sandwiches. This was like a melted mayo spread. Never seen anything like it. From both bottles." And then she's just like, "Okay, then we'll take the bottles tomorrow, have somewhere examine them, and you can come put them somewhere safe." Put his mayo in a vault, a refrigerated vault. "You can find them in trash can. Please feel free to examine them and prove me wrong. I know it sounds weird, going to bed." It's weird as fuck and mental. It's just oddly mean. Good night, dude. I don't know why he keeps challenging her to prove him wrong. It would only take one quick Google search to figure out why his mayonnaise has ended up in that state, and it has nothing to do with his girlfriend tampering with it to make an attempt on his life. What a bizarre lunatic, making a huge hubbub about mayonnaise, and then accusing his girlfriend of trying to kill him. That's craziness. I got a little parasocial here trying to learn more about this guy. I got so curious to learn more about him, and she had made a couple other posts about him. The other ones are just really sad. I'm not going to get into it, but there's nothing I learned more about him except that he is a big asshole that is very unstable, and she should absolutely leave him as soon as possible. ASAP. So, anyway, I just had to talk about this a little bit. It was a wild read. That's it. See ya. Do you remember Ko, the face stealer from Avatar: The Last Airbender? That creature that had a ton of different faces that it stole from its victims? Well, what if that thing was a Redditor? Do I have you piddling in your britches yet from this scary campfire story? I should, because it's real. I know Reddit and creeps go together like macaroni and cheese, but this particular specimen is special. He's like an SCP of pure delusion, cringe, and obsession. A dangerous mix, a recipe for disaster. And over the course of like 2 or so years, he's made a bunch of different accounts in order to message one lady in particular. And I'm sure this isn't the only person he's been messaging through all of these accounts. I imagine all of the other people are probably just too afraid to show anything or talk about anything in regards to this guy, because they're probably fearing for their lives. They're probably worried that he's going to show up at their doorstep and turn them into furniture like Ed Gein, because this guy is a fucking freak. I haven't gone over weirdo messages in a while, so I thought it was time to dust off the swamp ass throne here to take a peek. The messages we're about to look at are the newest. They're only a couple of days old, and they come years after she thought she had already defeated this menace. But I guess there was a post-credit scene with like a hand reaching from the grave, and now he's back. And he's found her on Instagram, and he's starting to harass her there. Now, Buddy starts by activating his Sharingan of Riz. He's alting. He says, "Hey, can I slide her? We spoke on Reddit for a while." What an incredible opening line. This is no doubt a pickup artist. This guy fucks. Naturally, she asks, "Who is this?" Because there's no profile picture here. I imagine the account name is some kind of like throwaway nonsense that looks like an Xbox Live arcade code. And he says, "I don't know how to describe it. It was also some time ago, but you have a great profile, ha ha ha, and amazing highlights. You seem very outgoing." Weaving a bit of mystery in there. This guy's good. "You know me, but I'm not going to tell you who I am. I actually don't know how to describe it, actually. Who am I?" An existential question. If you subscribe to solipsism, I mean, we don't need to get into the weeds of it, but you have such an amazing profile, m'lady. And I'm just the gentle sir for you. She presses him saying, "What do you mean you don't know how to describe it?" Because that just doesn't compute. Yeah, well, what do you mean you can't describe who you are if we spoke before? You come in here out of the blue unprompted saying that you know me, and then you can't describe that? What the fuck is wrong with you? What insane asylum did you squeak out of by accident? I mean, like, I can't remember anything besides how you look like, and I don't have our chats anymore. Only this right now. I don't even know your name. You even shot with guns. You Americans are crazy. She's talking to a lobotomite. He's suffering from amnesia, it sounds like. What do you mean you don't know? Like, you said we spoke on Reddit. You don't remember your Reddit account name or anything? And he tries to reassure her, oh, I don't even know your name, actually. I only remember what you look like. And just going off of that picture in my head, in my mind's eye, I was able to find your Instagram account somehow. Dude's trying to cosplay like he had his brain scrambled by MK Ultra and can't remember anything except for bits and pieces about this lady's appearance. He is very clearly just trying to avoid saying the Reddit name because he knows that she'll know that it's that weirdo creep from years ago that kept making tons of different accounts to keep harassing her. Also, I think I should clarify this because it may have been confusing. It started 2 years ago, but it wasn't like some one-time instance where this guy just made like a ton of different accounts and she blocked them all and that was it, just, you know, put the kibosh on it. He continued to do this for a long period of time. Like, there's a post from her from 2 years ago with him doing it, a post from a year ago with him doing it. So he's kept doing this behavior for a long time, and now this is just his most recent rodeo here again. Somehow, creepy Redditor returned. The creepy Redditor of 1,000 faces. She says again, who are you? I don't know. That's the only thing I know. Maybe I told you my name and you'll remember? It's blank. I imagine whatever name he gave right there isn't his real name. He probably just dropped an alias or just a fake name that he probably thought sounded cool. I bet my sweet Bippy that he just chose a name that he lifted from anime. Oh yeah, it's me, Thorfinn. You don't remember anything, do you? And what's your name? Sorry, but I forgot. What do you mean you don't remember anything? You've given her no information. What the fuck are you talking about? What is she supposed to be trying to remember here? You are a complete stranger who hasn't even left like a single fucking breadcrumb to piece this puzzle together. She says, what's your name on Reddit? Point blank. That should be super easy to answer. And he goes, wait, let me think. Actually, it could be, I don't remember. Damn, it was so long ago. I don't know, I can't see the chat. I think you blocked me. But still, you are a bigger red flag than me. Oh boy howdy, he just dropped a bombshell and immediately goes on the defensive. I think you blocked me. But it's because you're a huge red flag and you were intimidated by my overwhelming masculinity and the very strong jawline that I have. I've been mewing a lot. You were the problem then, but I'm willing to forgive you. I just don't remember what my Reddit account was. I'm sure you block a lot of people, so this probably wasn't like a dead giveaway, right? I blocked you? This is why you won't tell me your name. I don't know, I am not that familiar. I don't see the chat, and a bit of time has passed. You're from the US, right? I am from Europe. I don't even know what this strategy is here. I blocked you? I don't know, I'm not familiar. It's, a lot of time has passed. You're from the US, right? Hey, did you know I'm from Europe? Said no European ever. Usually, if someone's going to talk about where they're from, they're not just going to say the whole fucking continent. So I'm starting to highly doubt that this guy is actually from Europe. He's probably just in the US and making shit up here. I don't really get what he's even trying to accomplish. It's just so weird. Like, it's not even like flirting or anything. It doesn't do anything. It's actual just like it's like NPC dialogue in a video game that you'd hear in the background that's malfunctioning. Like, it doesn't work. It's not even like statements he's making, it's just disjointed thoughts that he's shitting out. But this was enough to let the cat out of the bag. She says, you're the one who was DMing me from different accounts. Yeah, and I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling Redditors. So smart, but I can't see the chats anymore. Hopefully you are not creeped out or something, I am sorry. But you have an insane memory, especially if you have to read so much lol. And she just goes, yeah, you're fucking creepy, goodbye. And he says, no! He probably saw that goodbye text message come through and he literally reached at his computer going, no! Like some kind of dramatic death scene in a movie. But now let's take a look at how we got to this point. Let's go to some previous seasons with encounters of this kaiju of cringe. We'll go all the way back to the beginning, 2 years ago. These are the first of the sacred texts, and it actually does look like they were at least exchanging DMs before this conversation happened, before he went full mask off and showed just how weird he was. So he goes, yeah, no worries. You just have to pick the right one, haha. Did someone send you a tribute? And she says, what do you mean? Now, if you've been around the cyberspace for as long as I have, you immediately know what he's talking about. He's talking about a cum tribute. That's something that only the most deplorable of degenerates engage in, where they come on someone's picture, or they even do it to figurines too, where they put them in a jar and then come on it, or sometimes they don't even use the jar. They go no props, they just do it raw. And that is what he is talking to her about here. This guy is so brain rotted that in the middle of like what seems to be some kind of conversation between these two, he starts talking about cum tributing to her. Like a cum tribute to your selfies. Just talking about it so casually, like this is a normal thing that normal, sane people do. What are you talking about? I don't know, I could expect it from Redditors. I love that he tries to talk down on Redditors. He is literally like the quintessential Redditor that people make fun of. I'm so confused. What are you talking about? Like coming to your selfie and sending it to you. Or was that too much? Why would you even say that? Boredom, I guess? That's dangerous. I don't know. I finished studying and I am waiting until I meet friends of mine. He is trying so hard not to seem like a fucking loser, so at the end he's like, oh, I don't know, like something Redditors would do. I'm not like one of them. I'm just kind of bored, you know, I was studying and now I'm waiting for my friends to come over. I got like 50 friends coming over because they wanted to hang out and like smoke cigarettes with me and shit, because like that's kind of what we do, and then maybe I'll end up having a threesome tonight, but I kind of just want to talk to you about all this splooge news, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out is all. Now, apparently she blocked him after that. I can't imagine why. And he was just as perplexed as I am. His confusion was so strong that he made a new account to message her again and try and get to the bottom of this mystery. Come on. And then I think he says her name there. Like, I am not doing anything, just being high. Like, come on, you can't get mad at him just for being high and talking about cum tributes. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, I have a soul. Are you serious? You text me from a new account? You're the creepiest person I've met on here. Seriously. It's getting weird, yeah, but I enjoyed talking to you. Please stop. Send a selfie. I will also send one. No, fuck you. No! I don't know. I think we could have a good chat. Dropping his signature classic, no! Right before being blocked. I like that. I like how he says that they could have a good chat if given the chance. But it seemed like they were chatting, and then things just went off the rails, completely unhinged, with him bringing up busting a load, like tributes to her. I don't know what he expected. I don't know why he thinks that's something that's normal. And he also just in the middle of this asks for a selfie and then tries to bargain by saying, I'll give you one. Like, you know, if you show me yours, I'll show you mine. Come on, this is a great deal. Show me a selfie and I'll give you one. I know you really want one. Come on. Like it's some kind of gift. It's not like she's asking for a selfie. Nobody wants that. And there's no doubt in my mind he was just going to send some random person's picture. He probably would have chosen like Henry Cavill, like, surprise, it's been me, Henry Cavill, this whole time. Don't you feel silly for blocking me on the other account? All right, now let's talk seriously. Because this guy's probably like, I think he's probably on the much older side of things, just judging by the way he talks. And he has just been so poisoned by being just glued to Reddit that certain things on there, like tributes, he thinks are like normal things that younger people do. So after a couple blocks, he sends another one here from a new account, and it says, okay, will we talk if I send a selfie? Please, I want to prove to you that I am a 20-year-old chilled dude, actually also a romantic. And are you actually doing fitness? Answer this and I will send you a selfie. Nobody fucking wants a selfie. It's not a reward, it's a punishment, it's a goddamn curse, and he keeps saying it. Like, look, if you just answer these questions like, are you into fitness? I'll send you a selfie. You've been begging for one. I'll do it. And please send me one. Come on, it's that easy. He just keeps mentioning that he'll send a selfie. Like, will we talk if I send one? Will this get you to finally open up to me? Fine, I'll give in and send you one of these, I suppose. Fuck, man, it's so weird. This dude's made a ton of accounts just to keep doing this to this person. And again, I imagine many others, but this is the only text from him that I can find thus far. It's so creepy. I always just find it fascinating how someone like him can exist. You can read these. Like, he's seeing the same messages we are, but to him, it's fine, and she's in the wrong. He even calls her a big red flag. It's fucked up. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Been a while since we checked out some classic creepy messages, and that's about it. See ya. Hey there, it's been a little while since I showed you text messages from an unhinged weirdo. I thought we were long overdue, so let's just dive right into it, huh? A little bit of context before we begin our adventure. This is a co-worker who's about to make like an ice cream cone in the Florida weather and melt down over absolutely nothing. Also, there's a Discord message that came through at the same time they screenshotted this from someone named Bastard. I don't know the whole story around that. I guess they're being contacted by Austin Powers or something, but it's not pertinent to the journey we're about to go on. So the co-worker says, "You get home okay? I just got home myself." To which they reply, "Leaving the bar now." "Well, I'm home and awake if you want to come by, lol." Drops his address. "If you want." I love that he uses this emoji. Usually it's like a winky from these awful pickup attempts, but he decided to be a little innovative there with one of these. I'm half surprised he didn't just send a dick pic or something at that point, like, "Hey, you're just leaving the bar, right? Do you want to come over, lol?" No big deal if not, I'm just putting lotion on my meat and then sending photo evidence of it. Shockingly, he doesn't get a response, so he has to spend the night kissing his pillow and going to bed sad, but he comes around the following afternoon saying, "Sorry, those last few texts were meant for a buddy at the bar that I didn't want to drive too far home if he was too drunk, and then when I called him it went to you by mistake. But yes, hope you got home okay as well." It's very important I mention this guy is 40 years old, and he is texting like an actual child. That tactic right there, I am sure everyone watching this has experienced at one point in their life, where you send a message to someone and you're like immediately embarrassed, so then you come up with a response like, "Oh, sorry, that wasn't me that sent that message, that was a buddy of mine, he just hacked into my phone and sent you that by mistake. I would never say that I liked you." Or, "That's gross, that's yucky." Wasn't me. I wasn't trying to invite you over to my house or anything. That was meant for a friend of mine who was super drunk, and I was just trying to save his life is all. Like, I'm actually a hero. I'm a super good guy. That message was truly a crazy mistake. Things then get super weird because he comes back the following day and says, "Yes, my friend, ... It's a shame, ... That's so cringe. It's like a Reddit mod cosplaying as some kind of Saturday morning cartoon villain doing this with their hands. "Yes, my friend, it's a shame. Ah, Sonic the Hedgehog, you've come to my lair. What a shame you didn't see through my plan." It's so odd and embarrassing reading that. "Always have been told what a gentleman I am," and he puts his pinky out, no doubt, when he typed that message. I can actually smell him through these. I mean, the physical stuff was both of us, I don't regret that, but the lingering bothered me because I think of a lot of you. I think a lot of you, as in the quality of person you are. No response. So you're gonna soon realize that he's actually illiterate. His weird dweeb speech didn't quite work with the "yes, my friend" angle. Still no response. So he tries again at 4:41 a.m. saying, "Hey, you." And then he comes back shortly after saying, "You honestly creep me out. Our bar is suffering for the first time since 2016 because we have a selling sandwich worker." I don't know what the fuck he's even trying to say. "Sure, you could learn, but it's all a joke to you. You're an idiot if you think my natural personality was like that. You fucking grabbed neck." So, the dam's beginning to break here. Pandora's box is opened, and every single emotion is flooding out of him right now, and the only one left inside of that box is sanity. He has forsaken sanity here. He immediately starts living in delusion and just spouting fucking gobbledygook. It's absolute garbage. I do love, however, that he says that they creep him out because they didn't respond to his 441 "Hey you booty call" text. That just sent him over the edge like, this makes no sense, this is incomprehensible. You really give me the heebie-jeebies. What is wrong with you? You didn't respond to my 4:41 a.m. text message? That's ridiculous. Everybody texts me at 4:41 a.m. That's like the most optimal time to text, and the fact that you didn't tells me that there is something evil afoot here. You're not right. Oh, also, I should probably explain that last cryptic message he sent with "you fucking grab neck." So, what that is, the poster explained a little more in the comments. Apparently, they had given him a ride back at some point to his apartment, and he refused to leave the car and insisted that they go to his apartment together, but that obviously wasn't flying here. So since he refused to get out of the car on his own power, it led to like some kind of like actually aggressive struggle where his neck may have been grabbed and like pushed out of the car or whatever. So that's what that is. Can't see the top part of the text, but it ends with tweaking, which is super accurate to what's happening right now. And he responds, "Is this a group chat? Accept the rejection, learn from it, move on. Also, begging to go on another date with me is cringe as fuck. I'm tired of taking losers and try to help them so our restaurant didn't look like fools. Doesn't. Date? Laughing, crying emojis. I feel bad for you, You. Okay, bye. Laughing, crying emojis. You are what, 22 and act like 15. There is no date. Laughing, crying emojis. Thank God I finally got John here. I don't know who John is, but hey, fist bump to John. The savior has arrived. John is saving the day. There has never been a date. ... My God. ... What kind of weird ass life do you live? ... I said we have crackheads at work and maybe we can go outside and maybe we can go out besides that ... If you didn't see that on Saturday night with the convict you are still and idiot and not who I talked to you about thinking you are mature and different ... You are just a basic Lucy fly we have to deal with. The fuck is a Lucy fly? A loose fly? Loose fly? I don't know what that... I'm no zoologist, and I don't feel like looking it up. Scratch that, I just went back on my word there. I did look it up. Nothing appeared on Google search. Even Google was like, are you fucking dumb? Hey, excuse me, Charles, did you mean to Google this nonsense mumbo-jumbo? Loose fly, are you stupid? So I don't even know what word he was trying to put there, because there is nothing that even remotely pops up to explain that. By the way, the tweaking is on purpose to mock these idiots. Crying, laughing emoji. I'm still is the Marine Reserves. In. Trying to read his text messages is like trying to read Finnegan's Wake. This shit is incomprehensible. He is so angry, he actually can't type. He's just seeing red, and he's like actually trembling, fucking tweaking as he's trying to send these messages. But according to him, the tweaking is all an act. He's only pretending to be a tweaker to make fun of the real tweakers. We couldn't possibly begin to understand his galaxy brain scheme. He's 5 levels ahead of the rest of us simpletons. Damn, imagine being 40 and still illiterate and pathetic. Take care. Illiterate? Let me out it this way. I'm assuming he meant let me put it this way, but he immediately blew it. So after following up illiterate allegations, he proves them true right away. You've accused me of being illiterate? Well, check this out. How illiterate is that for you? Question mark. Crying, laughing emoji. You cannot be this dumb. I am mocking the way you talk. I would love to, like, get a peek inside of that noodle of his. What a very special brain. No, I'm not tweaking. I'm making fun of tweakers by pretending to be one. No, I'm not illiterate. I'm making fun of you. I'm making fun of the way you talk with my illiteracy. What don't you understand? You're so stupid, you can't even see that. Haha, I feel bad for you. Haha. I am 40. Served my country and stepfather well. Brother, I don't... What? You served your stepfather well. Where is that even coming from? Who asked? What ghost are you engaged with right now in this conversation? Like, what the fuck? I'm 40 years old and I served my stepfather so goddamn well. Why didn't he love me, huh? Why? You are a punk ass that thinks this is a joke. He know you have no bartending experience. I love the... Like, this has to be on purpose. He know you have no. Instead of just using N-O, it's K-N-O-W. No. This is so interesting. It's like a game of Mad Libs. It's so weird. He takes a shot on losers and hopes they do well. We have had some that turned their life around and helped us. Then we have the new age shit like ... fill in the blank. But it's obviously becoming you as well. That you have no bartending experience, correcting his grammatical mistake as any scholar would do. You want to put some of the group chat? Put this. You want to put some on the group chat? Put this. Why? Be careful what you ask for. Why? So, like, he's self-aware enough in this rage to recognize how stupid he looks and knowing that this is going to be shared with other coworkers, I suppose, and just continues to keep digging a hole. Because personally, I call out every loser or anyone that makes us suck. I don't know if he meant to say sick, or if he's like, you're the reason this restaurant sucks. We suck 'cause of you, not me. I work hard, damn it. And they reply saying, everyone knows I'm bartending for fun, and I have no prior experience. Seems like you're the only one with a problem with this. Everyone? Yeah. Are bartending for fun? You are bartending for fun? Fuck you. Stay away. This restaurant isn't for fun. It's a business, and we take pride in it. This is like actual We Are Walmart energy here. There's nothing wrong with taking pride in your job. I actually think that's an incredibly admirable thing. But to this level, where it's like almost delusional that this restaurant has become a part of your identity, when it's not a restaurant you own, this is just this is just a coworker. This is just someone that works there, I'm pretty sure. So it's not like it's his restaurant that's being insulted or anything, and this guy's about to go to fucking war for it. Who the fuck is everyone anyway? I train. Then, God forbid, the last couple months we had these losers train bar, and there is Joe. Who's Joe? Where's Joe? Joe Mama? What, like Joe Blow? Like what is this? We've got John coming out of nowhere, which is like this guy's saint. Now we got Joe, and the way he's talking about it, I guess Joe's not a good guy. That's one of the villains we should be rooting against. I don't know. None of this is for fun. It's family. It's work. It's blood, sweat, and tears, and you just proved my point of why I don't like certain people that mock our restaurant. Are you done harassing me? I feel like as he was typing that last sentence there, you just proved my point of why I don't like people who mock our restaurant. He was charging up one of these. Why I oughta. Getting ready to get the knuckle sandwich deployed. No, the drug videos are enough. Good night. That came out of nowhere. I don't know what drug videos he's referring to. The poster also doesn't know, apparently. Thanks for repping blank. And bring your trash to us. That's why he hired you, not because you worked for fun. We thought you had pride. Once again, please stop bringing your trash. The amount of times that he corrects himself, it's like a fucking English professor in a middle school. Like, just coming through with grammatical corrections throughout the paper with the red pen. And please, put our work group chat that you... And please put our work group chat that you bartending is just for fun. ... Just like the video of you doing drugs will go to the VP of USAA. Actually, I don't like you. Just as a military Marine vet will do it on my own. I will do it on my own. That doesn't clear up the confusion with the statement. So, let's assume he's telling the truth here. Like he has videos of this coworker doing drugs. What are you gonna do with that? Like, he's trying to be like a hall monitor here, but like, what... Are you going to report it to the police? Because, like, I don't think they're going to act on it. Like, my coworker smoked weed, here's proof. But he doesn't even say that. He's like, I'm going to the VP of USAA. So you're going to take videos of this coworker doing drugs to the VP of a bank? Why the fuck are they going to care? I imagine 90% of the people at the bank have used drugs at some point, and they're still doing business with them. Like, it's not like they're going to get outraged, like, oh, good golly. One of our clients does drugs? Cancel their accounts quickly. Freeze their assets. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. This is invaluable. It's so weird. And also, just for a cherry on top, the poster explained that they actually don't even bank with USAA in the first place. So he'd just be going to a random bank with a video of a random person doing drugs. At that point, you could just pull up a video from Reddit of someone doing drugs. The final message sent to this maniac was a no bitches meme. saying, I don't know what drug videos you're talking about, lol. And they did post another picture as well where apparently this coworker was fired. So that sounds about par for the course. This was a loose cannon. This guy seemed very unwell. I had to share these because this gave me quite a giggle reading through these. Also, a nice little reading challenge to try and parse what he was even saying half the time in his messages. That's really about it. See ya.